Welcome to the podcast, Morty. The podcast hasn't started yet, so technically no. Sorry, Tibor and I were talking about the app that I told everyone to download that no one watched this podcast about. What?
Yeah, this.
Was that a sentence?
No, it wasn't.
What were you waiting for at the end?
What?
You paused like afterwards.
No, I said that nobody watched.
Oh, I like how you just.
got
I like
really
how you.
quiet
I like how you whispered at the end.
Yeah, no, because that wasn't cool.
It's like you didn't want anybody to pick up on that.
Dan, you sure did go off screen a lot to do random stuff.
Well, you just.
I noticed that last week, is you got up and just left the podcast
the little
chairs.
things that were like trash that.
You could have set it on the table behind us and got it after the podcast.
To be fair, there wasn't as much space as we are here.
Yeah.
There's. We're in the other building.
On the other side of the building.
Yeah.
They
we're
streaming. Which we're in a different room.
There it is.
Literally, we're right next door.
Yeah.
So
not right next door. There's a place in between.
Well, in between, but still, it's connected. And yeah, no one else is here. It's pretty quiet. It's actually dead quiet.
Oh yeah.
Except for us.
Yeah, no one's here yet. This is where we had the Brony meetups, and the Brony meetup is scheduled for today. So
in about
before this is over,
about 2 hours.
But you know how J-Hoof is. He'll probably be here early. They normally
He might
get
even
here
join
early.
us.
Is he?
Yeah, if he gets
Does
here
he?
early enough, then
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll be here with Clayton and.
I didn't know that they get here early. Okay.
They're
They
normally
usually-
here.
Okay. Cool.
I do actually have to leave to get my dog within the next hour or so.
Okay.
So if you need to leave, if we're still doing the podcast, just go.
Okay.
We won't get mad or nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Go ahead.
I mean, you gotta take animals before podcast.
Yeah.
Well, we don't give a fuck.
So basically, we can do talk about EQG. No, Equestria Girl. Yeah, Equestria Girls 3.
Let's just talk about all the Equestria Girls.
Let's
Why
just
not?
talk.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
talk,
let's
guys.
go. Do you want to go for all three?
Hold on.
Okay.
Because that first podcast and the second podcast, we just had like this oversaturation of information. Let's just focus on one movie at a time.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's spread out our content a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
introduction?
officially starting the podcast. By the way, I just had what's his name from South Park, Jimmy, I think.
This is gonna be awesome.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, the crunches.
Jay.
Yeah.
So for editing purposes,
Now we're starting. Even though I don't plan on editing anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lazy. Well, because the easiest way to do it is just upload it. Like Twitch will upload it straight to it, so there's no need to edit.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Okay.
let's see. I think
but if we ever want to do like a real production out of this,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I'll eventually, if we actually get popular, I'll do
Anyway,
it.
just
we were
sweet-
starting. We were starting.
We were starting.
Sweeten it up in post.
That's what we need you
Okay,
here for every
go-
time. Is to keep us
okay,
on
just
freaking
go.
goal.
Well,
I mean, if you paid attention to the chat,
The first day I couldn't get it up on my phone. It wasn't working on the computer. It's probably working on the computer
you have
now.
problems getting it up, man. There's stuff.
Then
in there.
I do have a problem getting it up.
Yeah.
This is not where the podcast should go.
And, okay.
You know what I just noticed about your mouse, though? It kind of looks like Deadpool from this angle.
Well,
Yeah, it's similar.
I was just getting to it because I think a couple of months ago,
I gotta be center of the screen.
I have a Mac. That's what we're using to stream this podcast with.
Because it's the best computer that
well,
all of us have.
And the fact that it's a touch, like the touchpad, right next to the keyboard, and if you somehow get like even a little drip of water in like the sides,
Yeah.
it completely destroys the sensitivity.
Hey Dan, get your drink away from
And
this
yeah,
now that as soon as he said that.
like the only thing that's messed up is like the touchpad. Thank God that the keyboard isn't messed up or anything like that.
Oh, wait, you know what? I had a laptop that I just got recently, and I had spilled Pepsi accidentally on it. The numpad is now just kind of sticks.
Oh,
That
because of the
area.
sugar in it.
Yeah.
It's just like, can you like hear and like feel like the
Yeah.
sugar?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
when you press 9, you end up sounding like Hitler in that one.
9.
No, it doesn't stick. It's just kind of you gotta
Oh.
press harder on it.
Oh, okay. Did you take?
The only way to save this is if it has something to do with ponies.
Well,
I'm kidding.
So we know about that pony Ariane. No.
oh,
I'm sorry, I
no.
didn't even hear what you said.
Oh no.
You started laughing before.
Well, okay.
There's Pole's pony mascot. That's all I have to say.
Oh.
Kanashi Panda got in a bit of trouble for that animation.
Oh.
Oh, I know the character. I didn't know there was
Yeah.
an animation for it.
Oh
He
yeah.
animated something for her.
Oh yeah.
All right.
We decorated this set.
Well, at last minute.
Last minute, I just grabbed a bunch of crap before I left my house.
Like,
I grabbed all my amiibos. Yes, I only have 4. I brought this, which he gave to me for Christmas.
mm-hmm.
And then I bought these because they're cool, but you probably can't see them.
We're doing like something like a Pro Jared thing, where it's just kind of random stuff.
Just
Yeah.
random stuff that we like bring.
Mhm.
It can't be.
I mean, you guys can bring some in next week.
Oh, it can be in the
Definitely.
Pony.
Honestly, no, I'm not gonna say this on the podcast. I'll just
Save it
I'll
for
say
later.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Afterwards.
No, it's afterwards. It's talking about the people we're gonna have on
Okay.
the podcast,
Okay.
but we'll talk about that off live.
So we can start with.
I'm bad with words today.
just today.
like.
No, normally I'm pretty good with them considering I have to work a drive.
Have you had your coffee today, or what? Or excuse me. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Have you had your Mountain Dew today?
That's what I'm drinking right now, friend.
Cool. Oh no.
Copyright potential.
Copyright.
I work there. It's fine.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not a sponsor.
Yeah.
They're not a sponsor, but we're not giving. Well, if I flip it that way, then it's. I'd rather have the drink I'm drinking than.
Anyway,
Let's
Anyway,
continue.
yeah.
Okay.
With-
There we go.
so
There.
what was our topic going to be? Which
Equestrian Girls. Let's just do the
Let's
first
do.
one.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Do the first one.
Let's just do that.
Honestly, we should start over from the beginning of the whole series and do season 1
Yeah.
eventually.
Did we
But
do that on the first?
No, that was season 5.
I thought that was
Well, because it was
No, we did
recent.
season 5 because it wasn't too long ago.
I
So
wouldn't worry about it.
No,
Yeah.
it's all right.
I mean, if you're already a brony, you've somehow stumbled upon across this podcast. I mean, I figure you would have at least stumbled across the YouTube videos of the entirety of
Mhm.
MLP by now.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
wonder who our one viewer is.
Well,
Probably
so
me.
basically, we could do the Equestria Girls like trilogy.
Let me tweet out and put on Facebook and stuff that we're podcasting.
You just now realize.
I've totally forgot that I didn't do it yet.
Oh my goodness!
So
You know, this could have been useful.
Here
About-
goes
It would've
the
been-
train, and oh, hey, look, it's a wreck.
Oh, it's derailing. Good, nice one.
Yeah.
So we could start with Equestria Girls if you'd like to, and just start from the beginning.
Jeez, when did we
Sure.
all watch?
Like, keep in mind, this was like back like now it's like 3 years ago.
Oh, this is hard to remember. actually,
In
no,
all in
should I
already
be ashamed of how often I actually watched the first one?
in often
no,
No.
the first one wasn't all that bad.
considering the fact that it's also the time period where it's in season 3 where
Yeah, there's that.
well
Mhm.
you had an assortment of things that were just really iffy at the
Yeah,
time.
it was just right after
No, no,
season
no.
3, and people were still getting over the whole
Twilight.
Twilight being a princess. Spoiler
Well, here's the
What's
thing.
for
Spoiler.
anyone that's
No, at
not
this
caught
point-
up with
at this
season
point-
5.
At this point,
At this point, Twilight has been a alicorn longer
For
than
all-
she was a unicorn.
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
You have to figure.
I mean, show wise, yes. Like in their timeline, no, not at all. Not that that's
Well, no,
relevant at all.
no.
Well, okay, she's been an Alicorn for 2 seasons and 3 movies.
Yeah, whereas she was
That's
a unicorn
longer
for,
than
for
3 seasons.
3 seasons. Well, 2 full
and a
seasons
half.
and a half season.
That's what I was gonna say because.
Well, when half of your writing team gets fired out of the blue, you kind of lose half a season.
or they just
sometimes.
leave or just get replaced.
Wait, did that really happen to the?
They got fired.
Wow.
Like,
Is that what
Either
got
they
fired.
left or they got fired.
Yeah, that's including Lauren, who left after season 2.
Yeah, I mean,
I
to
thought
be
she
fair,
was
Lauren,
joining back on though.
No.
No.
Where I heard someone
no,
that she was
no.
gonna
Where
jump
did you
back
hear
on
that
season 2.
news?
Yeah.
I don't
seriously.
remember. I thought I saw it somewhere, and I
was
was
this off on like some random,
probably.
conspiracy thread board?
Probably.
Like,
You know, she's been
Fred or
working
something?
outside
outside of MLP for like 3 years.
Yeah, but I thought she was gonna come back and help write a
Shoot,
few
what was that,
episodes eventually.
What's
But,
the show that she's doing now? It's kind of
Uh,
like her
Wander
last
Over
ditch.
Yonder?
yeah, Wander Over Yonder.
Yeah, that's really like her last ditch attempt. Like she's kind of lost, all hope after that.
I also heard like
But
she,
that doesn't, if that doesn't catch on, that's it.
I like it's a pretty good show.
no, but also
I like
she was working on a movie or something called like Medusa, and
Really? I didn't
apparently
hear about that.
no, but apparently now they've split. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I've heard of that news that like they split because
Yeah.
of like creative differences. I think so. That was
Well,
another.
creative differences is why Lauren only wrote like 3 episodes.
That's true too, and also the fact that she's spent so much time on them's fighting herds.
Yeah, I don't think people, quite understand exactly how little involvement Lauren actually had in the show.
Oh yeah,
Like a lot of bronies will go, "Oh well, the first season was the best because
well,
Lauren was doing, all the writing."
She
She
only
didn't
wrote
even-
the premiere.
I mean,
She
she
did.
kind of overviewed stuff, but she didn't
Well, she
write it
overviewed
herself.
stuff into season 2, but like we still have some questionable,
This is a
she
podcast
was-
where you speak your mind.
Yeah.
What was on your mind?
What was on your
No, I
mind?
mean-
We're allowed to have our own opinions here.
That's kind of
There
the
were
thing.
some questionable choices and decisions made during season 2 and 3, but by 3 she was
Well,
already
3
gone.
she left, but
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, I will
You're-
agree with the fact that it definitely did get much better in seasons 4 and 5.
Yeah, season 4 and 5 are my favorites so far. I mean,
Like, I
I
don't know
like
what-
season 1 simply because it caught my attention.
Yeah, I think everybody who got on season 1 can agree. Like there was that's little thing that everybody saw in season 1 that's like, okay, I'll give this show a chance.
I think I would have liked more 2-parters though, instead of the slice of life show that we ended up with.
Yeah.
In the recent episode or recent series, or, excuse me, the recent.
No, I mean just in general.
in general.
I wish there
Yeah,
were more
the-
adventures.
The only
stuff.
two-parters you have really are premieres and
finales. Yeah.
Which I mean are fine, sure, but
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they do have good ones. Like when they are 2 parts, they're cool. They've got
Mhm.
good
Maybe
ideas.
then we could have actually
But
had
sometimes
Discord
there's,
as an
episodes-
actual enemy instead of just this one,
Reformed.
this one-off character more or less.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's episodes where it feels like they crammed two-parters into one.
Yeah,
episode.
like season 3's finale. That
Well,
personally,
yeah, but that again.
I
is
feel
the
that
team.
yeah, because it was a shorter season. But I feel it would have been a much cooler story if it would have been spread out and not rushed into 22 minutes.
But you gotta but you have to keep this in mind
Movies.
that okay, I'll just say this, but keep in mind that
Forgot.
Oh yeah.
season 3 was about to be they were thinking that was going to be the last season,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
that's it. They didn't plan on oh my gosh, we have to continue. They didn't even think of that. They just said okay, we'll just end it here, or so
And-
they thought.
And then they kind of cut it short because they were working on the movies, right?
That's true. They were
That is
working on
part of it,
EQG, and probably they were thinking oh they're going to move into this universe instead of the ponies.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were thinking.
And
also.
that actually makes an excellent segue into the main topic.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it does.
Oh boy.
So Equestria Girls.
So after
everyone's first.
Oh, yeah.
Equestria
impression.
Girls!
So wait, so let's set this up. After a questionable season 3 with half of the episodes, a questionable at the time season finale.
No rarity episodes.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was blasphemy.
well to me. And what can top it off than a questionable movie that at the time was very risky to do?
I will say,
it
though-
still has enough people. Or sorry,
I was gonna say, I will say that personally, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. That's just personally, I really love that movie.
well, I mean, certainly better than a lot of the other MLP movies that have come out before that. So.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
well, yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
But I mean,
But
there's
it
still
could have
a lot
been a
of
lot
bronies.
better, really.
That's true,
Yeah.
but you have to keep in mind that this was the first attempt, and they didn't really know, how perfectly translated it would have been from ponies to humans.
Yeah.
This is the first time they experimenting.
I
Actually,
remember.
I remember.
Didn't they try and get it in theaters?
They
No,
did.
no,
Was
the
it
second
theaters?
one. The
It was
second-
the first one.
No,
The first
they tried.
one was a limited release in theaters.
Yeah, they tried
Right.
to get it in theaters. That's what I.
And then the
Yeah,
second
if I
one,
didn't
they
say
did a
it
limited
correctly.
release in theaters. And then the third one, they just went, "Ugh."
Direct.
Didn't
to,
it go straight to the hub or
No,
by
they
that
went to
time it was
Discovery
Discovery Family. So
Yeah. So
I was tweeting during that, and
God, I don't remember what I was doing. I think.
but
I'd
what were you
already
do? But
been
did
working by
you
then.
see the first Equestria Girls movie, the day it premiered, or did you?
I saw it later.
I saw it
We
later.
saw-
I was
we saw
actually.
it actually as a group.
yeah,
That was actually a lot of fun. That was one of the few really good times I remember from
Yeah.
I
that
was.
shop.
I was
Yeah.
actually at a college.
We will not
that,
go into that.
I was at a college
That's another
program.
topic for another time.
I was
That's a
doing-
topic for never. I
Oh,
think
for never. Yeah.
I think Clayton talks about it enough to.
Oh yeah.
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 Just no more.
we all get our kicks from that. But what were you gonna say? Ken?
I was remember because I was doing a college program. It was between freshman and sophomore year, where it was a science thing, and I just had my own room, my own dorm to myself, which is rare for that thing. And so I just would sit there and watch ponies all day. And eventually I was like, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I just put it on randomly, and I played the crap out of that movie about 10 more times while I was there.
Yeah.
But I remember because that was one of my most popular drawings I've ever done. Where during the cafeteria song when Pinkie Pie says hey hey hands up now or whatever, I freeze it whenever she has the little three mouth looking thing, and I just I'm just sitting there I have to draw this, and I just sketch it out, and since then that's my most popular picture. So I just remember that time really well
Oh,
because
yeah.
of that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds
But
really,
yeah.
really cool.
Oh yeah, like, I guess I could pull up the picture, but nah, no one cares.
I think even now though the movies are kind of still a little bit controversial among the bronies though.
Yeah.
I think the first one is because it gets some. It remembers.
I mean, I remember like specifically because I just become a brony when the movie was coming out.
during the first one.
So I got to like that was my introduction to Bronydom. Was
Oh,
that little shit
well.
I mean, we were coming off of Alicorn Twilight's reveal.
Oh,
We have
Yeah, that was
a half a season.
Mm.
Writers being fired. And bronies that were actually in the know were just kind of, oh well, everything is going to shit. We can't. Like, how good is this movie going to be? Half the writing team is gone. Lauren's gone. There's no way. This is just a money grab for toys, which it is. It is.
well, yeah.
The series.
It
is
still
another-
has.
Right.
It still
because
has.
that's the
They-
whole reason the show exists because it's for toys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which again, I don't think a lot of people understand.
Realize.
or they don't. The good thing about it though is they don't push the toys nearly as hard as they did with the original My Little Pony.
Or even
'Cause-
with other shows.
Originally with
The
My Little Pony,
Transformers movie
Yeah.
from the 80s.
Oh,
Originally-
yeah.
the original My Little Ponies, they were toys, and then they're like, we need to sell these toys more. Let's make a show about it. So kids are like, I like this, baby toys, whatever. But now it's like, we're going to make a show and then make toys about the show. Whereas before it was make shows about the toy. Yeah,
Yeah, but that.
they don't do it nearly as much.
Well-
and it's weird how long it took them to actually make toys that look like the movies.
Yeah,
Because it just came out this year, I think, is when they first came out, these.
those ones that you recently. Yeah.
Yeah,
But keep in
these
mind-
that actually
and-
look
well,
like them and not
well,
like
before that,
and not
they
like
would
Monster High dolls with. Like, I can't even say Monster High because Monster High dolls are pretty quality. They made
For-
brats out of fucking.
No.
Nah.
Even
No.
then,
No, it's just let's
just-
agree that sometimes Hasbro's toy making decisions are not the brightest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
I think we can all
100%.
agree on that.
Mhm.
Or I totally approve of these. They finally made something good.
We can agree that Hasbro is hit and miss as far as the toy department. As
They've
far as
always
how
they've
it
done that
goes.
with everything though they've ever
One
done.
official
That's
merch
true.
is actually worse than some of the fan made.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll
Most
take
of
this over any other. Like some fan made like.
I don't even buy the official plushes because they're so lame.
Official ones, I don't know. They just
They got the
really-
spaghetti hair.
Spaghetti hair.
Nah,
yeah.
I don't even look at that.
I have an Octavia, and that's just because I didn't have enough money to go online and buy other ones at the time, so I just bought what
Yeah.
I could.
But
I mean, they're not even fooling the kids though. Like, remember the original figurines for like how they all. Had
Oh yeah,
the
and
same
how
name
Yeah.
how Fluttershy was literally just a recolor of Rainbow Dash.
No, like I was.
That
talking to
annoyed me.
This little girl brought I was working at a fast food place at the time, and this little girl brought in a Fluttershy, and I went, "Oh, hey, I know who that is. That's Fluttershy, right?" She went, "Yeah, the hair's wrong though."
so how old was this girl?
Young, I'm
4
sure.
or 5.
So even a 4-year-old knew about this mistake.
Yeah,
right.
No, it was-
So-
that
I was
was
aware of it.
that was one of the most
she kinda
obvious
did
ones.
seem a little bit disappointed.
That's the
Oh,
weird
like
thing.
from the voice. it's
That
just-
definitely
yeah.
was the weird thing though, because all of the main 6 except for Fluttershy had their own mold, and everyone else's all the other characters they made were based on those molds.
Mm.
But that was so weird that Fluttershy was just a recolor of Rainbow Dash.
Nobody will notice. They probably.
Oh,
said.
no one will.
No, they're like, who cares? It's just a bunch of little kids.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, except for all of the 20 and 35 and 40-year-olds who also are buying the merchandise.
Yeah, well, I mean, when they first made the little toys,
Right.
I'm sure they didn't realize the bronies were a thing at the moment.
Well,
But,
technically speaking, the bronies weren't a thing until somebody on 4chan was just like, okay, this has to be terrible.
But
Actually, I think somebody reviewed MLP,
Yeah.
and they said, like, this is the problem with modern
This
with
is the
modern
end
animation.
of creative-driven cartoons.
And then 4chan was just like, no, okay, this can't be that bad. Like, we have to see if it's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And
apparently it wasn't.
And
Or
5
it
years
was.
later? Or
And 5
6
years later, we have a podcast.
Well, not only us, but a lot of other people.
Yeah.
5 years?
I mean,
pretty sure it was
it's-
longer.
Well,
No,
over.
it's
over 5 years.
It's been like 5.5 because
No,
it was
not 5.
It was 10,
It was-
10, 10.
Yeah, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah,
10,
so
10, 10 is when the Hub and My Little
Okay.
Pony Friendship is Magic came out. I remember that.
5 and a.
Because
4.
I became a brony in 2011. Like,
Sorry
Almost
to
at 23
interrupt,
hours.
but
okay. Sorry, just, it was nothing important. Nobody cares about Lori.
Okay.
Wow.
Jesus.
Kidding. They're out of town and they can't watch the
I care about Lori
podcast.
simply because she owes me $20.
Oh, that's the only. Yeah.
In
That's
case
the
you
first
guys
thing
are
I
wondering,
do.
Lori is out of town with her boyfriend for family reasons. They went out of town for like
wait.
I don't remember what it was, but
No.
what?
No.
Nothing.
That okay. Just saying
So we
like
have
the
our
reason.
good buddy Chris here, so that we wouldn't just have 3 people, and he's actually keeping us on.
I'm trying, but I'm also kind of leading us off track a bit
at
too.
the same time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we don't have to have a set track as long as we talk about something. As
Right.
long as it's not like.
Just like dead air.
I'll try to keep us all on top.
But you got to have like that balance point.
But I mean, you can't only talk about that. You need to have opinions.
But
on
yeah,
it and
but
give
not
backstory.
only that, but you
Or
also
else it's
have
just
to.
boring.
But you have to also find that balance for it. It can't be
Yeah.
one or the other. You have to
Yeah.
find like a certain type of line and balance it.
Back
So
on track.
so
And then-
let's so back to the actual movie.
Movie, yes,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
first one, the first.
So to get everyone's opinions here, what did you think when you heard humanized Equestria?
I thought it was well, I was gonna use a 4-letter word, but
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well,
we're
I mean,
we're
we're
trying to
technically-
keep this kind of censored, so if you want to assume what his
BS.
word was.
Okay.
BS. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
I was
Isn't that
hopeful.
too
I was
far?
like, I hope. Well, I was hoping it was gonna be good, but I didn't know what to think actually.
No, but your like first reaction,
My first reaction was
like when you heard, okay,
it was. I don't have words for it. That's the thing. It's just like it was. I guess curiosity and
Mhm.
more than anything was just I wanted to see how it would go, how they would come about or go about making them human.
Mm.
That's my first thing was how is this going to work?
Mhm.
I just think like Hasbro looked at all the human Equestria fanfics out there and then went like, well, we gotta do
Well,
something about this.
I think not only that, but I think they looked at the time. I think there was like this high rise of like high school and like all these like different toy lines like Bratz and Monster High and all that other stuff. And I think maybe we can get into this business by transforming this into this type of thing. And when I heard about it first hand, it was a bit of curiosity, but it was mostly confusion,
Mhm.
basically. It's like, well, can you translate this into this so fast? And I didn't like 100% get it, and I didn't 100% like think that it was going to go down the toilet or anything like that. I just thought, well, maybe they can have some sort of story and tie it in with the main show.
And then it was completely separate on its own.
Well,
For
yeah,
the
they
most part.
decided, okay,
Yeah.
this is separate from the show, and then that's just that.
I'm just glad the rumors of like Equestria Girls getting its own spin-off show were shot down.
Oh,
Because
I
I don't think it would have sustained itself as a show.
Yeah, I think it didn't have that much leg or that much room to be its
Yeah.
own separate like show from the main series. I think having it as like a movie kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, let's be honest, it wasn't going to be like as big as like the main series was.
Yeah, I don't think it would have ever reached that level.
That height of like popularity. Well,
I mean, because again, like it was kind of a
New.
controversial choice in the first place. So
Mhm.
most people still haven't watched the movies completely out of spite.
oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Don't
that's
yeah, Alec. No, he's watched the first one.
I think
He
he's
watched the first one, and because of that, he just doesn't want to watch any other ones.
Well, yeah, after I can understand that because after seeing that movie, it further like decided, okay, well, do you want to continue with not only the movies coming up, which I don't think at the time anybody knew that there would be more movies to that. But also, do you want to keep watching like the series as a whole? And this was like a further like kind of split or anything like, okay, maybe I can give this a chance or no.
Mhm.
And personally, it came out for the better, but we had to again wait months and months until we can see if they get better at the movie and the series.
Right. Now, as far as my initial reaction, I had literally just become a brony,
Mhm.
so I had no clue what was going on, other than updates from some of them, YouTube bronies. I can't remember off the top of my head who.
Like the analysts at that time, or
No. I think the only thing I really got it off of it was who's the guy who was supposed to be doing the brony documentary?
Oh,
Yeah, that guy. I think I know what
okay.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Guy who I think just straight up left the fandom and never looked back. Like shortly after the brony documentary thing that was never finished.
Oh.
Do you mean one of do you mean one of the analysts or like someone?
No,
It was not an analyst.
Wasn't
It
he the
was
guy that did he did it
He
for
was
a
the one who did
college
the pandering
project?
thing. I can't remember what it was.
Pandering?
He did it as a
Shoot, I
little
can't
college documentary for one of
Ignore
his
me.
classes, right?
But no, just ignore that little bit then. But I think for the most part, like you said, like kind of confusion. But then I've kind of always been a person who's like, all right, let's give it a chance. Let's see what they do before I start to hate on it. I didn't actually get to see the movie until I think a couple months after it was released.
Mm,
So
yeah, it kind
it
of.
wasn't that bad. It could have been better.
I'll say this: it wasn't that bad. Yeah, again, but
The high school have to become popular to get into the high school to get the high school crown. Like that whole thing is incredibly
overdone.
incredibly
not-
overdone and cliche.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is though, I was in high school at the time, so I could relate to it in the fact that it wasn't wrong.
no, but the problem
Like
is, it's just
stuff like that happens.
No,
Okay,
it
but
still
no.
happens.
Sunset
even
Shimmer suddenly went from evil demon fire throwing.
to go into good. Yeah, no, that doesn't.
No,
happen.
that was bullshit.
Yeah, no.
no.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Well-
that's what happens with most evil villains in
Well-
this show, though.
Well,
that's the
no,
thing.
no.
Except
Okay.
the sirens, I guess. No.
No, okay.
But,
let me weigh in on this because I love Sunset Shimmer. and-
Oh yeah, he that's his.
no,
I think
he.
that's everybody's one.
No.
Not-
Different people have different waifus. Just ask Clayton with Soren.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
We love you, Clayton. You're
Okay.
a good friend, but
Okay, getting back into Sunset
Wow.
Shimmer. In the long run, I say that it was a perfect it's a
that was
perfect
a
like
good
transition.
she's
But at that
she's a
time,
great character though. I
at
will
that
say
time, at the end of the first movie, you'd think, oh, she's all buddy with the friends. But
yeah.
as
I-
again,
I-
in the second movie and onward, you see,
Yeah.
okay, they're not 100% buddy. That's
yeah,
we can trust. Well, we can sort of mingle with you, but we can't trust you. And then it gets better as the time goes on.
I like
But-
that. It's like at first you're like they just everything's forgiven, and then in the second movie you're like, no, she's earning it back.
Does anyone
Over
find
time.
it weird that Sunset Shimmer was riding a horse in one of those promos?
In which promo?
Oh yeah.
Which one?
In the second
For the
or
third movie?
Oh,
Oh,
I'm just-
yeah.
Did anyone else find that a little odd?
Well, no, she's riding a horse, not a pony, so it's fine.
No, but just the
Yeah.
image of that. It's
But
just,
I mean,
No,
it's-
the word Sunset Shimmer rides a pony have spawned so many,
Oh.
many fan fictions.
oh no.
okay. Back to the topic. What I was gonna say is that the way that it just you assumed one thing and then they went over it later reminds me of how everyone was like, wait, she just got Twilight just got wings and she already knows how to fly. Like she's been doing it for years. Because remember at the end she does the fly through and just goes
Everything's
into
just fine.
coronation.
Boom.
And then in season 4 they have a whole episode where she's learning how to fly better.
That's
I like
true.
that. I was like, okay, cool. So because I thought at first she was just a natural flying. I was like, that's stupid. What? And then they actually went over. I was like, okay, they went back and fixed it.
Just don't worry about it.
Just don't worry.
No reason.
Yeah.
As far as the animation
know how to
went
fly.
into the
No
first
reason.
movie, it was a bit. I'm gonna say the facial expressions could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird
I'm just telling you,
and
dude,
a
your
lot of
back of your head was at the camera.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You gotta
Just
always
like-
pay attention.
Just the faces and everything just looked weird as far as how they looked and how it as for certain situations how they looked as far
I
as
still haven't. Celestia and Luna are just fugly.
even
Oh yeah.
Good.
that's the
Lord.
one
No,
thing they
like,
haven't
The
fixed.
art style fits perfectly for the teenager.
Proportion wise.
yeah, for
Proportion
like-
wise, this works.
Yeah.
However,
When you have not only
presenting
Good job.
no,
But it definitely did look better on the kids than the adults, and it did look okay.
boy.
I guess in a way, Cadence is still more young than she is
Because it almost
it fits for her.
Her hair
more,
almost.
more
It
than
almost
Luna.
works.
Almost.
Yeah,
The thing
her
is,
hair is still just
the thing
proportionally
is
just big.
when they designed Luna and Celestia as mains to begin with, it was already weird. Like, and I do like that in the Tyrek episode they actually covered. Oh, their hair waves through their magic. It doesn't just naturally do that because when their magic got taken away, it didn't move anymore. They were just fixated.
Did it revert back to like?
No, they were still
Season
the same
one thing?
shape,
Oh.
but they didn't wave like it does normally.
Yeah.
When they gave their magic to Twilight, it stopped.
I feel as if that's
moving.
an intense amount of like wasted magical power.
That's
No, yeah,
just
no,
under
but
the
then
hair.
Or
They're-
maybe
They're alicorns, so they have magic to spare.
That's true. That's so
different
getting
topic.
Yeah,
that's something that we'll definitely talk about later. Is weird
Probably.
things like we can make that a podcast one day. It's just
magic and
random magic uses that are unneeded, or
like just
something.
magic in general, like
or just unneeded things
No,
that have happened
but
in the
just-
show overall. Not
probably
just
magic in general. Both.
Anyways, back to the movies.
Yeah.
Their
Oh, well.
designs, like I've said this before on the podcast, is I'm an artist, so I think a lot about art designs and stuff, and that's a big thing with me for those two. Is their designs just don't look right. They could have.
The pantsuits don't help.
The
you.
pantsuits are horrible. Oh god, and this is coming from a guy that loves Luna so much, but God, she's so bad in the movies. She just looks.
Again, I say it fugly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the only word that we can.
I think
I'd hit that.
I think
with
the
a hammer.
I think the character design in general.
I'd tap that with the freaking back
I
of my
keep
car.
moving further this way, but
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm
Tibor
still
just
blocked.
keeps. Tibor,
Oh,
you gotta pay attention.
sorry.
You gotta pay attention to the
Sorry.
angle of the thing, because
Sorry.
either you're not looking at the camera out of screen, or you're covering.
Oh,
up.
sorry.
Because you did to Lori last week.
It's like I'm just paying.
She was in
attention,
the
just
opposite
and just
side.
doing this constantly.
She was
Yeah.
over there.
No, you
But
did it to Steel
We're
Course.
gonna
That's what it
end.
was.
We're gonna end
Oh,
this
sorry.
like this.
And me and him are just gonna be like,
Yeah.
because this is all we can be seen from. Like, I'll scoot over here so because Dan doesn't take up any room because he's a toothpick.
Yeah.
But it's like back to topic.
We'll
The-
figure out season
everyone-
problems
like-
later.
I will say that my favorite characters between the movie and the show do change. I prefer Pinkie Pie in the movies more than I prefer Fluttershy in the movies. But in the episodes, I prefer Fluttershy more than anyone.
That's true.
But I just like for some reason Pinkie Pie, human Pinkie Pie, just seems a little different to me, but in a good way. But I don't know if a lot of people would
Less
see
annoying potentially.
that. Yeah.
Or, oh no, wait, hold on. Less in your face, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, I think they've retained some of like Pinkie's character and
Mhm.
used it like another way.
Yeah.
Probably they grabbed that
5
from
or
like the
4 where
movie.
Pinkie was just like a jerk.
4, I think.
It was
was
the one
like-
with Philly.
Yeah,
Vanilli.
Philly Vanilli,
Was
a
that
lot
3?
of it.
Or 4?
That was in 4. That was
That
season
was in
4.
4.
Philly Vanilli.
Jesus.
Probably because I remember that because that was probably my favorite episode of season 4.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. It was so adorable.
And all lessons learned were forgotten.
Yeah.
Back to
She,
the movie.
Fluttershy didn't really learn her lesson of getting over her
No, she didn't.
anxiety until like in
Well, she
Easy
forgot
Being
the-
Breezy.
She forgot the being assertive.
Yeah.
She's forgotten, her.
It's the whole thing is that's like they're like we can't actually have her learn this because that takes a big part of her character away.
Because then she would just be Applejack.
Exactly. Without her insecurities and her shyness, she's not Fluttershy. That's the whole thing that makes
I'm not saying,
Fluttershy
I'm not saying
Fluttershy.
get rid of it. I'm just saying like have
Like
moments
loosen
where
it up
she,
a little bit.
where she's a little bit more confident.
I mean, she had more confident and assertiveness in season 1 with the dragon than she has in any of the other seasons.
Well,
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
dare you? You know,
And the
like she gets
Scaremaster where we just like went full on
Yeah.
like slasher
That was hilarious. And the face she makes when she's scared them.
well, yeah.
That made me laugh. Her freaking like, this is amazing feeling kind of look. Like, I don't even know. Sorry, I saw it earlier today and I was
all
like,
right. So first movie.
Also, we can now talk about the songs too.
Oh yeah.
My
So,
favorite song
I have-
of all
I
time
can-
is in the first Equestrian Girl movie. It's the Cafeteria song.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite song of all time throughout all the My Little Pony songs.
whoops.
Second
wrong
movie had
list.
better songs.
The second movie
Hey,
had,
hey, everybody.
as far as like catchy songs.
It's funny though, because like after the podcast last week, we like all the people that were on the podcast, we went to the mall, And as we were, I
Oh,
think we
yeah.
were leaving the mall, I started singing that song, and everyone, I knew all of them knew the song too. And I just looked at them like, guys, why did you sing it with me? What the crap?
We're in public, dude.
So what? We're all losers.
Well,
But I was
we
just
don't
sitting
need
there
to
singing.
rub off more.
But I was just sitting there like, hey, everybody. And they're just looking at me like,
What? Are you high?
chill. And I'm like,
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm in a
we're not-
group full of 5 other Brodies and no one's singing
Oh,
with
whoops.
me.
We are not 4chan, Pony or what's it called?
The MLB
Moms are
board?
asleep
MLP.
post ponies.
The MLP board. I'm a
Oh.
full channer, so I have no idea.
I just looked down at my phone and it's just the part where I'm swinging back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
By the way, anyone that is watching, feel free to ask any comment or any questions, comments, or anything in the chat. And we'll
to the Twitter,
reply.
actually.
No, you can put it in the chat or the Twitter. Either way, it says the 3 people, but it only shows 2 when I do that.
Oh, okay. Well, there's...
To anyone watching, I don't
well,
know.
I have the songs here, and there's a
Yeah,
total
well,
of
for a while,
8
Yeah, it is.
in here. There's the theme. Just one here says Equestria Girls.
Well, but the theme is all right. I mean, it basically just sort of rips off Alex S. remix of the.
That's who
Yeah.
I thought. Did they get Alex S to do
And
the
this
thing?
PMV just does not have enough, anything.
That's true. And Time to Come Together. This is our big night.
This is a big
Oh.
night.
1 and 2.
Well, the
I
song
forgot
was
that.
the song was
The
okay.
thong.
Shut up.
You don't
The
talk about
song,
thongs.
the song was okay. The visuals for it,
I knew you were
and,
about to do that.
and the way they put it in, just no.
No.
It Killed It Dead?
Well, it's
This is
just
a big night.
Didn't they just sing "This is
It's-
our big
it's-
night" over and over and over again?
Yeah, that's basically what it
well.
was.
The thing is, it was just a
No, they had a
let's
few
dress up
words in there.
montage, and that's just
Yeah, I kind of liked it and kind of didn't. It was like, oh, it's amusing, but why is it here?
So 3 more. A friend for life. Oh, sorry.
You're
Sorry.
You're like,
just switch.
you're like,
this
okay,
part
well, why don't we
I
just
made a
switch?
minute- a
because
couple
I
minutes
like
ago.
being in the center of the screen.
Well, then, okay. So we have a
Why
friend
don't you
for
and Dan
life.
switch? Because Dan has a ton of room on his side. Or adjust the computer, face it a little more. No, the other way. That's the opposite of what you need to do.
all right.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Since you're leaning in,
Yeah.
you already.
I
Yeah.
was going
alright.
to suggest that he move backward a little bit, but because
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
the reason why Dan has so much room on that side.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, I
Let's
have.
get this way a little bit.
Well, I have. There's 3 more. A friend for life, magic of friendship, and this strange world, which is
This
when-
strange world.
I don't remember that one.
It's the one where Twilight's going through the halls in school, and she's like, "What is this place?"
Oh, okay.
Oh right.
I don't know. I think the first movie was the weakest of the 3.
Oh
I
yeah,
wanna say.
definitely.
Yeah.
But again, they were testing the water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like you remember that Futurama movie we watched?
Yeah. Where
Again,
they
testing
didn't
the water.
they didn't really know about it being like how it was going to work to be a movie for that show.
No,
either.
they didn't. They didn't
because
know
the
what
whole thing just kind of felt like it was a couple episodes
slammed
slashed
together.
That's
Yeah,
essentially
it's
what it ended
special.
up being.
Yeah,
Was just a couple episodes. Like the way that they cut it up, like later was episodes instead of a movie.
yeah. That's especially too since it's just been a long gap ever since
We're
Yeah.
talking about the
Futurama.
first
Just
Futurama
comparing.
movie of I think it was season
Bender's
6?
Big Score.
Yeah.
Bender's Big Score is what we're talking about now because we also watched that after the last podcast. That was something we did because we actually hung out after.
But why we brought it up
Y'all
is
was
because
invited to that
the
until,
first
very
MLP
end.
movie and
Sorry.
Bender's Big Score.
See, Lori said she was
Uh,
inviting you, and then she never did. And I was like, "What happened to Chris?" And she was
Well, yeah, because both movies they were just testing the waters and
Yeah.
seeing where they wanted to
Right.
go with that, and it got a bit better as
like, "MVP
you know,
Tibor for
they
keeping
just-
it on topic."
Yeah, so yeah, with the other movies, I watched all
Yeah.
of the 3.
Definitely,
Last time.
like production wise, the third was the best. Like it
Uh,
ended up
It
because they
had-
knew what they were doing. Is
Well,
what
here's
I,
the
is
thing.
what I
No,
The
I
second
no.
one had the best soundtrack.
Yes.
mean. Yeah,
I
soundtrack wise, absolutely. It also gave
third-
the characterization of Vinyl Scratch that she's a mute.
I guess.
guess.
think
think
you
she might
could-
just be too absorbed in her music.
people
to
would draw
actually
that to
talk.
conclusions.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
know
I
people-
honestly-
I'm actually okay with that conclusion.
Yeah,
Yeah, that she's a mute. I like it.
She's a musician. She's okay to,
It's fine.
She talks through her
Musicians all have
loves.
disabilities, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derby.
Right, Daniel?
Right?
Oh.
Derby?
I like how you're the
So-
only non-musician at the table right now.
Excuse you, I played the violin.
That counts.
But I guess it does count.
That
It's
counts.
like I'm a man of many talents. Like I tried art, I tried crafting things. I'm trying gaming.
A
You're
jack,
still
I've
trying to
played-
make knives, or you're not trying. You're actually pretty good at
a
that.
jack of many
I'm
trades.
all right at it.
What
Yeah,
about
you're
wait,
better
what
than
about, what
the
about
rest of us.
guns?
Oh, you're a genius with guns.
I'm not even going to touch trying to build guns.
Oh well, that's
okay. So
I
you
know
just-
a lot about guns.
Gun
but I will
knowledge.
not try to
Gun
build my own.
knowledge over here. You need
Yeah.
somebody to just
Okay.
call him up.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, no, that's a topic that's not going to be going on this podcast because my views with guns are tied in with my political views, and I just know.
Oh,
Okay,
that's a
then.
slippery
This is
slope.
not a political podcast. This is a Pony
Nah,
podcast.
this-
different kind of
it's
tea.
it's the furthest thing from it.
Mhm.
Donald Trump, though.
No, that's a whole other one.
He's an idiot, but moving
All right,
on.
I mean,
But,
you don't,
yeah,
you're
let's-
not thinking.
no, let's-
you can't think
well,
something that's
no,
true. It's
and-
just a fact.
No, just
at this point.
just put that to bed, and just let's get back on
Hush
track.
now, quiet now. It's time to leave.
Fine, if you want to
Anyway.
do it like that.
Hush.
So
So
I would have
I
liked to
think-
see a longer version.
I think-
of that.
Yeah, me too.
Can-
That's a good song to me. And
Which
I would have
one?
loved the Hush Now, Quiet Now. I would have loved to hear Fluttershy do the full song of it, but I also do kind of like the whole Sweetie Belle. Hush now, quiet. I find it cute.
So during this discussion, I think we're forgetting an important part.
from the movie.
Flash Sentry.
Oh,
No,
Waifu
I was
stealer.
gonna
Okay.
keep trying to bring him up, but we kept moving in
It's
random
like,
directions. So I
Well-
Waifu stealer.
but it well, you
I
have,
love Flash.
no,
Sentry.
well, no,
I will.
wait, hold on.
There's
You had to think it was inevitable. Like we have to bring him up
no,
because
that's why
also,
we saved him because we're gonna have like at least 10 minutes of
well,
talking.
that's
about him alone.
another person. That's another thing that people hated.
people
I love Flash Sentry. He's
people say
hilarious. I do kind of. I'm upset that he hasn't said a single thing to Twilight in the actual show.
Well,
Since-
yeah.
Like I
Wow.
don't, has
He's
he
a
been in a
guard.
single episode of the actual show?
Once,
Once.
He made a cameo appearance as one of Cadence's
Royal
guards,
And that's
and all he said
Oh.
was announcing Princess
And
Cadence.
that was when.
yeah,
and
that's
just gone.
all
And
that
that's
he's
it.
done.
I
I like how we
remember-
both went like that at the same
I think
time.
that was the episode
Just
where
laugh.
Cadence comes to town to spend time with Twilight, but Discord pretends
yeah,
he's
yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was that one
That was
episode.
a good episode.
That was
a good episode.
That was a
but-
good song. A glass of water. That
Not,
was.
not a fan of the, not a fan of it really. It felt too
Yeah.
Tim Burton-y.
I
Yeah,
thought
the
it was
song-
funny.
The song felt a little bit weird, but
It's-
I like the episode just because it was kind of
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
the
definitely
princesses
matched.
are bored.
It definitely matched Discord, whereas that's the song I would have thought he would have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a song like that.
Yeah, it
not
kind
like
of fits him.
it because he.
No, because I remember we were
goofy.
remember when we heard about it, we're just like, wait, John Delancey has a song.
Yeah.
Oh my lord! This is gonna
I
be
gotta
great.
check
This
this
is gonna
out.
be the best thing ever.
And then he
And
just
it
kind of
was.
talked.
Well,
He
Glass
didn't
of
really sing, he
water.
just kind of talked.
Well, he's at the very end. He did hold a note on a glass of water.
Congratulations, you.
well,
held a
one
single
note.
Man, that was a good song. That single note, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Granny.
Encore.
So
Encore.
Flash Sentry.
so Flash Sentry.
Flash
All right.
Oh,
Sentry.
this guy.
Now hold on.
I just-
People have said that Applejack can be characterized by her eyebrow. At least it's still a part of her body because Flash Sentry's entire character is summed up with guitar.
That's true.
I
The thing that really annoys me is he has a bass. If you look at the instrument
Yeah.
in there, he has a
Yeah.
bass, but he plays the guitar all the
Hold on,
notes he plays the guitar
you're gonna complain about the bass part when you're not gonna complain about the fact he plays electric guitar.
without an amp.
Without an amp.
Without
That's
an
like-
amp.
See,
Cool.
that's the big thing. It's like he had a bass. Then he played a guitar note with no amp, nothing,
No chord.
no chord, and it's even showed earlier. I don't know what that build-up was, but it even showed him like he was playing and it was just silent before the song started. But
Yeah,
as soon
yeah.
as the song starts, and another thing
No, what if that
They're-
was all in his head though?
is the whole movie is just in his mind.
Oh,
And,
man.
like he just comes out of the door. They're just like, what is he
And
doing?
all of his friends are just like, what the hell?
That must
What
be.
is this?
Dude, sit down, please. It's just like how you guys were thinking when I was singing the song.
Yeah,
Well,
Swirling
that would have
everywhere.
been one amazing
That,
drum
that
track.
just reminds me of the kid that brought his drum set to school
Wait, what?
What?
during the
What?
song.
Oh, okay.
We're all like, wait, there's a story of a kid
No,
randomly
how
bringing a
long-
drum set
okay,
to school.
so I'm not like a. I played percussion for a little bit, but it was like a mark. It was snares. Anyway, how long does it normally take to set up?
A drum set?
Depends on
Forever.
how good you are.
That depends
If
on.
you know
No,
how.
Well, no. Here's the other question.
It-
How many trips did this kid have to take in order to set it up for this song he didn't know was going to happen?
He probably always just keeps them in there. Just
He
because
just
in
has
the
a
cafeteria?
truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just has a truck.
He probably has a cart.
Always.
It's probably the school's drum set that
I mean-
he uses. But I mean,
To be fair, we've seen weirder things like Rarity with
What-
the whole freaking piano.
Oh.
wait, there was there was that whole thing that he was planning on playing at the dance. So he probably already had it in the school, and he probably had it on a cart so he could move it around. But it didn't show. I don't know.
Yeah, the dance is just going to be a blast, man.
One thing I'll have to say is the end when Twilight goes back to the Pony world and she magically bumps into.
I like how they say that, but like, wasn't it like in season 1 that Rarity said something about hands?
Give me a hand, Twilight.
It
give me a
depends.
hand.
It depends on the writer.
Yeah.
So
I mean, since
after,
season 1 and 2, like it's sort of like
like everyone is like every pony get hoof. This is pony puns.
Yeah.
But at first it was like, there's not really a thing
the term
yet.
every pony is racist, and I want you to. No,
nah.
Every pony just needs to calm down.
So
that's
the whole
specious,
thing
though, isn't
wasn't the whole
Oh, yeah.
first movie about Twilight bumping into Flash like
Yeah.
every single time, even at the end in the Pony
it?
world.
No,
have to
every
stop
time,
being like this.
every time that Twilight has met up with Flash Sentry,
She
she
bumps
has
into
bumped into him.
Every time.
Every time.
Every
With the
time.
exception of that one
Time.
cameo where they don't even share screen time.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Every time she sees him, they bump. Yes.
That's
That is true.
that's
If he doesn't, there's no bumps.
You want to word that better?
I do want to, no, I don't. That's worded perfectly.
Well, okay. You had your chance.
You heard it here.
You had one chance.
Every time that
It's gone.
Good grief, I can't. Moving on.
Yeah, we
Joke
can't.
is dead.
Nah.
It is dead. That's why I didn't.
You're
try
beating
and
a
fix
dead
it.
horse.
We'll stop beating this dead horse when it stops.
There are no
spitting out
dead
money.
horses here, only dead ponies.
Well, that's true.
I was gonna start hitting Fluttershy, and I was like, I don't want to hit Fluttershy.
Although technically speaking, this is Incredible Hulk Fluttershy, isn't it?
Yes.
It's Saddle Rager.
Yeah. Don't hit
That's
this
a weird
Fluttershy.
name.
No.
What?
Don't hurt a fly too.
That's an odd name.
Saddle Rager. Well, saddle because horse related, and then Rager.
But
'cause-
she doesn't have a saddle.
And she's also not a rager. She got a little angry once. I think hers was probably the laziest costume, where they literally just put that.
Well.
Oh well.
But I mean, whenever she actually rages, it's all ripped up and shredded.
Do you want to go into the other movies or no?
No. So
Depends
Or
on what
save it-
time it
here's the
is.
thing.
It's
how did you
like
guys
15,
how did you guys sort of perceive the movie after everyone sort of reacted to it? Like,
for the first one.
yeah,
Honestly, I didn't pay attention to how other people reacted to it. I didn't
'Cause
look. I didn't care.
people were like just I'm going to leave the fandom.
Well, that's what
everything's
I-
going down."
Everyone
That's-
says that no matter what happens.
That's
We got like the Living Tombstone who leaves like when a rock
He-
like falls.
That's-
He
So,
leaves
that's-
once a day.
well, that's one of the things I
And
brought
comes
up
back
was
once a day, too.
after-
twice a day. He comes back more than he leaves. I'm sure.
That was one of the things that I brought up before was after this, people were still divided as to if we're gonna
Just
be in
BT
the
were completely out of the picture.
yeah, thank you. I said like if
There's no middle ground here. It's
Yeah.
either he's in or out.
It's either
it really is.
people were still deciding afterwards if they wanted to leave or not.
I mean,
And-
the thing is if you want to leave, you never wanted to be in it in the first place.
Yeah,
That's the major thing about it. is
That's
that you
true.
really-
I
that
think
you figure out
I think
if
people
you're willing to leave because of one silly thing, then you weren't really part of it.
yeah.
no
Yeah.
they wait for that one moment where it's generally like people like are just still deciding if they want to leave or not, and then they use that excuse to leave.
I mean, I understand.
Versus
I understand like why people wouldn't like the first movie because it really
Oh, yeah.
is very, very forgettable.
oh yeah, it's in the back of everybody's minds. Like as far as like that
Except
one
for
movie.
yourself.
except for this guy.
Speak for
Yeah.
yourself, guys. I
Well,
actually
you keep watching it, which is why you don't forget.
Oh yeah,
no, I love it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time ever.
unpopular opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Very unpopular.
Very
Very
unpopular.
unpopular.
Except for that one board on 4chan, where all they talk about is CQG.
Really?
Is there Is
I
there,
need
is
to
there
join
really?
that.
Is there a board specifically talking about?
It's not
the,
a board; it's a general.
Oh, it's a general topic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oy, man.
or did you mean Thread then, or
There's
Okay.
Alon.
Who?
Oh, the Trixie.
Who? Who's Trixie?
The Great and Powerful.
Oh, the Great and Powerful. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a. Yeah. Okay. So
The
basically-
GMP.
you know,
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Speaking
So
of Trixie did show up in the movie.
Yeah, she did.
She needed
But that was
a peanut
s-
butter cracker.
Oh yeah, it was
She
the,
did?
I was about to say, was that the second one or the first one?
No,
But
no,
she
no.
was a villain again in the second one.
well,
That's what I was
she
thinking.
was in the second one.
She wasn't
She
really
had
a villain.
She just was an
antagonist.
She was more. I know she was more in the second movie because
Oh, yeah.
she had that get disappearing.
I think she had one line in the first one, and it was the peanut butter crackers.
Oh, that's true.
It's nice to see how often we blow out the mic. It's
Yeah!
Thanks for that.
Ow.
I've set it to -5 dB. We should be okay unless
Yeah.
someone just.
The funny thing is I'm the furthest away, and I'm the one that makes it the loudest.
Yeah, because
I have a naturally loud voice. I can't help it.
Yeah, that's not
Anyway,
your fault.
Back
Anyway.
on topic now. After I've derailed this.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
derailed this and brought us back on.
Okay, so
So
Chris, so after watching the first movie, what were your perceived thoughts about
future movies. Yeah.
like but not only what you thought of the movie, but afterwards, because you said that this was the first time you saw anything Ponie related because you became a brony. After.
Yeah, I'd become a brony. No, I'd watched all of up to season 3, so I'd caught up.
Okay.
I was completely caught up.
I do have a question.
Just kind of had a
Was this the first thing that you watched
as part of a group?
Yeah. No. Was it
like live?
Yeah, live. Like, was this the closest? Was this the first thing that come out that since you become a brony, or did you?
That was the first thing that had come out since I'd become a brony.
Okay, so that was
I joined right at that hiatus. So
okay.
So
right at the beginning of the hiatus, I think.
So afterwards, what were your thoughts afterwards? Like, do I want to continue, or were you on the rocks?
I had mostly good feelings about the movie because I was with the group, with the DFW Brony group.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of got to share that with everybody. So I kind of left feeling all right, this isn't so bad.
I feel like that kind of saves it though. If you experience a bad movie together and you can both kind of laugh and riff on it.
That's a big thing. Like, for example, for me, with the season 5 Christmas episode, I can't remember the name of it right now. Hearthbreakers. It was a good episode, but I liked it even more because I watched it with a group of 4 other guys at Nightmare Nights.
That's true.
So that made that episode even better to me.
I will tell you this, going on that also, at Nightmare Nights in 2015, another episode that we watched together was really funny because it was me, Clayton, Trixie, and J-Hoof. Clayton has, other people at the time, Scaremaster was leaked through iTunes a month before.
Yeah, right.
And people afterwards were kind of divided. They had seen the episode, or people wanted to wait until live on Halloween. And Clayton was 1 week away from watching it. And J-Hoof, because it was his 5th anniversary of becoming a brony, he convinced Clayton to watch Scaremaster.
Weren't you and I like that? At first, I had the idea of why don't we just watch it at Nightmare Nights, and then we were both nah, we'll just wait till it comes out on Halloween.
No, that was, but I was in the room with J-Hoof, and
yeah, well, that's why you watched it. I ended up waiting until Halloween.
Oh, okay,
because I wasn't with you guys at the time.
But it made we saw Hearthbreakers first, and then we eventually saw Scaremaster.
Okay, so on the topic,
weird.
on the topic of Scaremaster, do you guys think that it was leaked on purpose? Because the fact that the Cutie Mark Crusaders cutie marks were hidden the whole time is a good
What do you mean?
Well, because they had already had their cutie marks by then, but it leaked before they got their cutie marks. So it didn't.
Oh, that's true.
It didn't spoil that they had their cutie marks. So a lot of people think
they
that
were in costume. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think that it leaked on purpose because you couldn't tell they had the cutie marks, so it didn't spoil anything. So it was almost as if it was on purpose.
I don't think it was on purpose because they do have a production it's different from the list of episodes officially on a season. Different random place orders for production order.
Someone's jamming in their car.
Man.
Oh, we can all hear the bass.
Wait, let's see if
a bit.
It doesn't really
so pick it up. It's a little bit, but it's enough.
It's mostly just I want to say just vibrations as well.
The vibrations, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, back to Scaremaster. A lot of people think that it was leaked on purpose because of that fact. But I get what you're saying, where it's they probably wrote that episode before they had written that they got their cutie marks. They could have done that.
It was fixed in a matter of hours, but by that time, everybody had it on YouTube.
It's a slight animation difference.
Oh, yeah. Everybody bought the episode. Everybody uploaded it to YouTube. So it was already...
I was one of the...
I didn't want to go through the effort of trying to find the episode, so I just figured, you know what, why not?
Just
I'll
wait.
just wait for it.
I just waited because I'm one of those guys. I like watching it when it premieres.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Although,
what I prefer
to be
do.
fair, if I had watched before it had officially come out, it probably would have made more sense chronologically.
Mhm.
Because something screwy is happening with the equestrian calendar, where Nightmare Nights happens
After
Hearthswarm's
Eve. Yeah.
We had that a week before,
Well, I mean,
and then
technically speaking, it could work for their calendar because technically speaking, their calendar is not our calendar. So.
Yeah.
true. You can make that assumption that.
But at the same time, for us, it's just sort of a what?
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
It's because it's natural for us because fall is the in between of summer and winter.
That's true. But who?
Yeah, for all
Casey.
you know, fall comes after winter.
He got Ike. Is that
Okay.
Ike?
Sorry, that was something I should have shared off podcast.
Oh no.
But
that's all right.
our friend just got 2 amiibos that we've been looking.
We can if he's that means he's free, right?
Huh?
Oh no. Actually, let's save that for afterwards.
They're not in Texas. They're out of state.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Are they in
They're-
New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
okay.
coming home. Anyway,
Cool.
Back-
Back.
coming
Okay.
home later.
Sorry.
Yeah,
back on
sorry.
topic.
Okay. Anyways, we can keep going. We've got 6 minutes if we want to stop. If we want to only have an hour, or we can keep going. I know you need to go feed your dog real quick. If you want to go ahead and do
Well,
that.
not so much feeding the dog. I just need to
Check on him?
Well,
check on him and make
okay.
sure
I
he's
think we
alright.
But,
should
um,
save the.
But I mean, my family's at home. They're just kind of asking me where in the world I am.
Okay, so we could just.
But I mean,
save...
if you guys want to talk about anything else, then we can keep going, or we can end it soon.
Well, I would like to save Equestrials 2 and 3 for next week and the following week after, because those are, and again, 2 very big separate topics that can be like an hour's worth of talking. It's like the first.
I mean, this first one, despite our many derailings, took
I
an
think we
hour.
covered about
Yeah.
everything on list.
I mean, we didn't cover like the big ending, like the whole thing where she turned into a little mini demon and the power of friendship and stopped it, even though they weren't.
Okay,
Equestria.
we could
I
talk
think we
about
kind
this.
of went over that.
Did we?
I think.
I don't remember.
Well, we
We did
got
a
5
little
minutes. We could talk about it a bit now.
Yeah, but
I mean, if we want to continue on after this, we can. I mean, we'll just end the official podcast.
Yeah, we could.
I mean, I
it's
only
only
want to talk about this for the podcast.
But okay, so
But it's
Although,
like-
I mean, not so much that. I mean, we can continue with other topics.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. That's
So-
anyway,
Anyway,
But it was one thing. Like to me, I was like, I think they just shoehorned that in just to get the ears and the tails added onto their hair, so that it would make better merchandise.
you can have
that's-
2 toys instead of 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That whole
you have to buy them all.
that's the whole reason they
I
did
would
the
have
transformation.
I would have bought a
think.
Sunset Shimmer Demon. Like,
Oh,
to be honest, I would have
absolutely.
totally bought one if they'd actually.
Oh
made
yeah,
it.
no. If they make one of of these, I will buy it.
I would.
Are they planning on making a Sunset Shimmer of these?
Okay, so
Sunset
okay.
Shimmer?
So let me just say this.
Sure.
According to
Make fun
this,
of the way I
hold on,
talk.
Cameron. According to this, they're in waves, so that means that yes, officially there's going to be a Sunset Shimmer one. I think.
So they're going to be.
Well, no, they're in curls. That was terrible.
Yes.
And this is our Barbara Dunkelman of the podcast.
Hi there.
Oh man,
How
Do
many
you need
times
some
have you
Guinness?
flicked your bead in 1 hour?
I think you need some. Do you need some?
Okay,
Guinness
this is
for
not a
this?
topic to talk about on the podcast.
Wow.
Do you need
Is
some
that
Guinness
pinto
for this?
beans or is that
Pinto, yes.
okay?
Yeah, but
How
so
many pinto beans have you flicked?
55. About 11 or 12. But then my fingers got numb.
so yes, they are going to make a Sunset Shimmer one, which
Okay.
I am going to.
Do you think they're gonna make one
Monitor.
of the sirens too and stuff like that?
I think so. I think,
hope so.
I heard that they're going to make. Sonata.
Sonata.
So I heard. So I also
Yeah,
think
everyone's
that
favorite.
Everyone.
I also think that they're going to make a
What about the
like vinyl and
what
Octavia.
were they? Yeah.
line.
What was the official name for Twilight's group of friends in the third movie?
Main
The-
6.
There's
Crystal Prep.
Crystal Prep.
Crystal Prep.
I hope they make the Crystal Prep.
I think
ones.
they are
Crystal
gonna make
Gems.
those.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
they're
right.
called the Crystal Gems, Chris.
I was like, no, that's not right. That's something
That's
else.
a
Wait a
different
minute.
show, which we will
That's a
eventually have a podcast about that show as well as many others. We're not just going to be ponies. Eventually, we'll talk about other.
Well, I have an
culture.
idea. I could talk to you guys after the podcast.
Well,
Okay.
like that's what this time is supposed to be for, so we can.
No,
plan another
But
podcast.
afterwards, I want to.
Anyways,
We do have 1 minute.
This podcast has been brought to you by Chronicles. The game store that we're in right now, yeah. Or
Yeah,
the comic book and toys, I believe.
Just the little.
It's comics, it's toys, it's cards.
It's just a cool place.
The cool thing about this place is that their slogan that they use a lot is they're adult friendly, which is a change from any other comic book place where they say it's always kid friendly and everything like that. And
I don't know. Adult friendly might give off the wrong idea.
well,
In a
in a sense,
Adult
that,
friendly, wink,
you know,
wink.
well,
Nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more.
yeah, just like the vibe and culture of like card players and everything else, which is mostly like our age.
they'll try to like censor or try to.
Oh no!
Well, it's like the old place we used to have the Brony meetups. They wouldn't let us play Cards Against Humanity because
Of
it's
course.
too adult.
And
Whereas here they're like, go ahead, we don't care.
Like they don't. Yeah,
Or it's just like the other place. They probably wouldn't have been cool with having a podcast in there. They don't care. This is one
if
of
you
two
wanted a podcast,
podcasts.
you would have had to pay $15 or $25 a month to get the internet.
Yeah.
And then $15.
And by the way,
time
the
to
place we are talking about closed because they were doing bad business.
Are they? Are they
they're
officially closed?
They closed down weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I
they're
thought
gone.
that-
They're gone.
For the second time.
Yeah, second
What was
time.
the first time?
The first time
Milo's.
was when it went from Milo's to
Milo's.
Sanctuary.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Sanctuary shut down.
New owners?
And
Yeah.
actually,
But
it's
it's
like-
he seemed like he was a pretty cool guy. Like
Milo?
no, the new guy.
Oh,
Or-
the new guy.
Yeah.
The one over.
The one that Sanctuary.
Oh,
We're still talking about Sanctuary.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was pretty cool, and then he was like, no, we have to keep everything like 13 and under.
That's
That's
big.
the thing that really
when
hit
you
it.
can't say damn.
Yeah.
That's when you have a
Loudly.
problem.
That's when you have a problem. Like we're adults, we would still say swear words. We just wouldn't be as loud as we would have been.
Which
Well,
is
even-
terrible because sometimes there are things you have to rage at.
Yeah.
Like League of Legends. Anyway.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's times
There's
where
plenty
it's
of
like
stuff that
rage.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's the first
so
time.
I
Like,
guess-
that's the first time I
I guess-
ever like
That's the end of it.
correctly used that term.
Wrap
And
it
I'm not
up.
gonna wrap it up just because you're doing the finger wrap up thing, Dan. Thank you all so much for watching, whether it was live or on the YouTube. We're ending
What
it
a
right when
time.
our friend gets here.
What a time.
Hey,
All right.
we're doing a
Do you want to come
Matrix,
say
you
hi
wanna
just
say
before
hi?
we sign off of our podcast?
So go on or go
Podcast.
offline and then go back online and then we'll if we want to
Hello.
This is
That's
that's
fine.
Thank you, Trixie.
You want to
You're a
promote
star.
the
go back.
You want to promote
Stable
your podcast?
condition podcast?
Nah, it's more popular than y'all's anyway.